Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Monday, February 19th, 2018. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. One of the things I've always loved about boxing is that when you've got punching power, you're never more than one punch away from changing the entire fight. And when you look at the landscape of the figure division right now, I'm not sure if there's anyone out there who can slug it out quite like 2017 Arnold Classic and Arnold Australia champ Candice Carter. With a little less than 2 weeks to go now before coming back to defend her title, it's starting to feel like the pressure is mounting for Carter and her team. After what we saw go down at the Wild Olympia weekend, it feels like anything could happen once we see these athletes hit the stage for the prejudging. But if a lights-out Candice Lewis-Carter shows up again and delivers a career-best performance, I have a hard time believing the judges won't reward her efforts with a second straight victory. If any of you bikini fans out there are tired of picking the usual suspects to crack the top 5 at the upcoming Bikini International, maybe this wouldn't be a bad time to start giving Frida Paulsen some love. The third-year pro is coming off the best season of her young career that included a huge win way back at the Vancouver Pro. And now the Swedish-born bombshell is looking to come in and show the rest of the division that what they saw last year was just the beginning. Over the last few weeks, Paulsen and her team look like they've been pulling out all the stops, because the Frida Paulsen we're seeing right now is far and away her best version to date. And when you consider how tightly packed some of these bikini shows are at the top, it's not hard to imagine a new and improved Frida Paulsen finding a way to work herself into that first call-out one way or another. Back when I was in New York, all I could ever think about during the winter months was how bad I wanted to get someplace warm. And apparently Icelandic bikini standout Margret Gnarr has the same ideas. Late last week, Gnarr and her team released their latest round of updates from phase 1 of their contest season, which looks like it's going to include a very long flight out to the Big Island to take part in this year's edition of the Hawaii Pro. Based on what we've seen, Gnarr didn't even miss a beat during her off-season, because she looks like she's right on track to deliver a solid performance. But if I were her, I wouldn't sleep on the competition in Hawaii, because last year this entire show was loaded with some major talent all the way across the board. And as long as she can avoid coming in too flat, which has been her bugaboo lately, I don't see any reason why she can't land a spot somewhere inside the top 5. As a fan of the sport, I always love when an athlete uses the big stage as their personal launching point. And with the first ever Classic Physique Showdown at one of the biggest events on the planet set to go down less than 2 weeks from now, Kevin Ford looks like he might be ready to launch. Late last week, the former junior national champ dropped another round of new updates, where we see the young fella making a strong case for some top 6 consideration. Back at last year's pro debut, Ford delivered an awesome runner-up performance at the Chicago Pro, so we can see an upgraded version of that making its way out to Columbus, Ohio. Well, if it does, this guy has a chance to really open up some eyes. I don't know if you can really be considered an underdog when you're a 4-time Olympian and certified badass, but I guess when you're carb depleted, half starved, and 2 weeks out from your season debut, you can try to use any little motivation you can get. Over the weekend, we saw figure star Ivana Ivusic release a few new training videos as she tries to finish strong down the back end of another long contest prep. The bits and pieces that we've gotten from the Ivusic camp over the last 6 weeks or so make me think she's feeling pretty damn good about where she's sitting just now. So don't be surprised if you see her creep up into that first call out, when she'll have a legitimate shot at pulling off a hard-earned top 6 finish. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.